You are a genuine human being. If you are quiet there in your corner, sitting, doing your things all by yourself, you don't need attention from the world. You are a genuine human being. You're naturally beaming out light, and people are drawn to it, and that's your power. I think most people chase what's the next big thing, what's the next trend, what's the next fad. I don't know who's wearing the latest clothes, who's the new fashion designer or whatever. But that's not taste. People talk about taste, oh, he has good taste. Does it mean that he has like good Pinterest wall or whatever, like Instagram feed? I mean, I think taste is built by people who take things out of their environment and put it all together, and they're called artists. But you don't have to be a painter or a musician or anything like that in order to be an artist, a creative. You might have good taste for food making, Some people are really good at decorating, and some people aren't creative at all, but they approach life in a creative way. And I don't know, this morning we went to do some practice on some swimmers, massage practice, and did about an hour of massaging. And I've noticed that I was trying to remember the moves. I was looking at everybody around me, what they were doing, and I wasn't getting into it. Plus, we was massaging two people, one person at the same time. So I don't know. I couldn't really focus on the other person. I could follow him or her, but I couldn't focus on what I was doing. I couldn't remember the moves, and I realized that's not how I function. I need flow, I need to be in my own zone. I need to be probably on my own. And I was just listening to Val, this channel on YouTube, and it's the video is called Those Who Curate and Those Who Consume. And it was a good video. He was talking about taste, and people, I was thinking, about that loner in the corner. I always think about that, because that person doesn't need anybody. He might be lonely, he might want to talk with people, but he's the best on his own. That's when he creates, or she creates. It can be either or, of course. But I think these days everything's based on togetherness. Everyone's coming together, and nobody has any more time to spend on their own. So being alone is sort of a luxury, So I take these walks with you guys and talk out what I'm thinking, talk whatever's on my mind. By the way, shout out to every single one of you. 400 subscribers. There's 400 people that are following this channel. I'm super grateful, reaching these milestones. They're little milestones, but for somebody like me, and that's why I'm talking about this topic, I need a lot of alone time, and I've noticed that I spend quite a lot of alone time with you guys, because I share these videos. There's a few of you that watch them all, it looks like. And I'm super grateful to all of you. Most of the videos don't get a lot of views, but I think that's how lonely people function. We don't need a lot of people, you know. We just need certain people, true people that have good intentions in their hearts, that, you know, you kind of see them in the crowd, you notice them, you nod, and you get on with your things, and that person gets on with their things, you know. And I think that's acknowledgement of somebody that's, I don't know, that they're doing their own thing, and you sometimes don't want to mess with that, you know, because they're working on something, you know. And sometimes interrupting them can be devastating, you know. They will have a conversation with you, they will be really nice and, you know, loving, and but you might be interrupting some great process. But we live in a society where people have to communicate, people have to talk, and it's good. I'm noticing more and more that I want company of people, but I noticed that when I just kind of let go, the right people come to me, and I feel like I'm surrounded by people more and more that love me for who I am, you know. I'm the only one that gives myself the most beef for how I am, you know. But this is how we are. We treat ourselves the worst, and we try to treat others better, but we can't treat ourselves better. If we don't treat others better, we can't treat ourselves better, and vice versa, I think. Yeah, it's new things happening, a lot of things changing every single day, and, you know, these small changes in daily patterns, I think that's what creates your own taste. That's what creates your own, like, I'm gonna do things this way today. I'm gonna switch a little bit. But in order to switch, you have to first have the routine, have the stability, have the discipline. I don't say I have the discipline. I mean, have the discipline to do these videos every few days, but I don't think I have like exercising discipline, which is the hardest thing for me. And I don't know why, you know. It's just I have more interest in other things, you know. Like, I used to skateboard a lot, and when I was doing that, I was kind of only doing that, but I had a lot of things on my mind back then. It was like I really wanted to do a lot of other things, and I wasn't allowing myself. I was skateboarder, that's the only thing I do, and I was like hardcore. I wanted to just do that, but that's not, I realized, like, that's not how what this life is about. I think we're here to experience many different things and form our own point of view and form our own style and our taste, and everybody can follow a trend, you know. Not everybody can create one, and maybe you are the creator and people around you see you as a creator. Maybe you don't see yourself as that, but you could very much be that person, to be honest. Especially if you don't see yourself as a artist or a creator, people might notice that, you know. When you just, what would you do if you were the only person in the world, you know? What would you do if nobody saw what you're doing? Like, what would be your message, your goal in life? What would you be doing? Like, I often ask myself and things come back to painting, but even recently I don't feel like I want to do that much. I don't know, I kind of don't want to mess things up, or I have a lot of things on my mind at the moment, so I don't take up painting too often. So it's a bit sad, but the other day I painted, as I said I will, and tomorrow is going to be a year since I stopped using any substances. So this road is long, life is quite long, and we have a lot of ways to grow, a lot of branches to spread, a lot of leaves to grow out, a lot of seeds to give. And if you're a creator, you want to give these seeds around, and usually it's for free, usually it's in conversations and sharing with your friends, and just how you are. Like recently I've met someone that's just appreciates me for who I am, and every time I try to be somebody else, it seems like that person just brings me back to the essence, of who you need to be, like who are you really, like I ask myself a lot, like who are you genuinely, are you being genuine in this moment, in this second, or are you being lazy? Because sometimes laziness just pushes into scrolling and absorbing something else from somebody else, and that's cool, but who are you really? Like, don't you want to find out? Don't you want to take a pen, piece of paper, scribble something, write something down, and find out? Like, I really recommend doing that. But thank you guys for being with me. Thank you for listening. I'm proud of you, proud of the work that you've been doing. Even if you're on your own and nobody sees that, keep doing it. I know friends that only kind of close themselves off from the world, and they do their own thing. And I really admire those people. Some of them I'm in contact with, some of them I'm not, but I know they're doing their own thing. So keep doing your own thing. Keep digging into your subconscious mind, bringing things out into the light, even if it's just for yourself, especially if it's just for you. So don't be sad. If you're sad, feel the sadness, feel where it's coming from. Don't run away from it. You're doing great. And yeah, keep doing you. I always say that. Have a great day, morning, evening, nighttime. I love you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care and peace.